Happy Sunday morning. It is Craig Bennett, aka Cash Cake, here back for another NBA Prize Picks video. Kind of a mixed bag yesterday. Missed a few just by a point. Gallinari shooting 1 for 9, putting up 3 points was pretty sad. But you know, Irving missing it by 1 assist there. I can't believe they beat Milwaukee, so that kind of helped push Middleton's over. Milwaukee, man, they should have crushed Irving and Brooklyn, what they had there without Simmons and Durant. But hey, it is what it is. We just jump right back on it and get after it. Again, I got 4 plays for you here. I'll do another video a little bit later. There's 8 games on this slate. Hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you know when I drop some videos. And with that, let's jump right into it. All right, everyone. Again, like always, Prize Picks desktop version up right here. We'll go through the 4 plays and I'll talk about why I like them. Sundays can be weird, so just keep that in mind. For whatever reason, NBA Sundays are just odd things. Odd things happen. I tend to not even play DFS NBA on Sundays. I tend to just kind of take it off and refresh for the week, and it's been doing real well. So just keep that in mind. Or I play showdowns or something like that. But I still think there's a few plays we can kind of look at, but just play lighter on Sundays overall. I highly recommend that for NBA for whatever reason it is. But again, if you don't have that Prize Picks account, head on over there, use the promo code DFSArmy and get that 100% instant deposit match up to $100. And with that, let's go. All right, first one on tap. We're going to go right back to the well here in James Harden. Second game going back, playing with Philly here. He put up 12 assists going against Minnesota. Going up against the Knicks here in the Garden. They're 8.5 point favorites here. This is in the early game. This is the noon game here. So, but he's hit this mark in 8 of his last 10 games. I think, you know, they looked real well together, the way they played with him and Embiid. And I think he's going to continue to, again, have the ball in his hands and have a lot of assist opportunities. So 15th in the league with assists allowed for the Knicks. And I can just see Harden, same kind of thing. I wouldn't play this if it gets to 10.5. I only want this at 10. Or, you know, of course, if it drops a little bit. But I wouldn't play this over 10.5 here. But anytime I can get it under 10 or at 10, I'm still going to ride the James Harden assist thing. I think worst case scenario we see maybe he pushes here, but we're going to ride the over. Next one we're going to look at, we're going to go over to the Charlotte Hornets, and we're going to look at Mason Plumlee. I was looking at a few of these with Plumlee. I didn't know if I wanted to take, because it's a great matchup for Plumlee. Detroit is 26th in the NBA in points allowed, 24th in rebounds allowed, and 25th in assists allowed, 26th in defense against center. So you can make a case for playing all these if you wanted to play the points. Points is my least favorite, though, because I think with Harrell coming over, he just does less shooting. Even when they play him together, he's more there just to rebound. So I don't love the points, even though the matchup is great. You know, the rebounds, I would feel more comfortable with, but I'm going to go the points, rebounds, and assists. So if I had to rank these, I'd go points, rebounds, and assists, rebounds, and points. But we're going to take the over on 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists for him. He's hit this in, again, 4 out of his last 5 games. The matchup is just really good for him. Juice is on the over here at -128 in a lot of books out there. But again, like I said, they're bottom in the league at points, rebounds, and assists. And if he can just, as long as he gets around 30 minutes, like the game he missed here against Miami, he only played 13 minutes. So, but before that, you know, 28 minutes against Toronto, going up against Minnesota, put up 36 minutes, 30 minutes against Memphis, and even just 22 minutes against Detroit, and he was able to do it with 20. So, I think, you know, if we see closer to the 28 minutes here, he should crush this 18.5. So we're going to take the over on Mason Plumlee, 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. The next one we're going to go here, we're actually going to go over to the Dallas Golden State game. And I was going back and forth if I wanted to look at Luka or if I wanted to look at Jalen Brunson. I think I'm going to go with Brunson here. Luka's everything's up. This is not the best matchup in the world going up against Golden State, but they're going to need his scoring, right? And I was looking at the points a little bit, and I didn't mind that one, but I think I'm going to lean the points, rebounds, and assists. Yes, he went up against Utah and only put up 12, but before that, he put up, 30, 29, 29, and he's went over this mark in 7 out of his last 10 games. Yes, Golden State has really good defense, 4th in points allowed, 5th in rebounds allowed, 3rd in assists allowed, but if this game, Golden State is only a 4-point favorite here. If we look at it, Klay Thompson is questionable here with just an illness. So if he sits, that would even help it even more. And then on the Dallas side, Trey Burke is questionable. Frank Nicotine is questionable as well. And Marquise Chris is doubtful. So as long as this team stays close, a lot of it has to do with Jalen Brunson. With no Tim Hardaway Jr., he kind of picks up not just the scoring, but just a little bit of everything, because it's basically Luka and Brunson that get things done here. So I'm going to lean the over on 24.5 points, rebounds, assists, and the juice is over. The juice is about -125, -130 in the books out there. So looks like some other people are hitting this over as well. And again, I just it's tough when you're looking at when I was checking out Luka's stuff, because the problem with Luka is his stuff is all way up there, and you never know what he's going to do, right? Like 8.5 assists. What's tough with him is he can get any of these he wants, any game he wants to. But sometimes when he wants to decide to score, his assists will be down, and vice versa. When he wants to defer and assists are way up, his scoring's down. It's just really hard to decide what he's going to do, and that's why I think Brunson is the better play here in this game. Next one we're going to go to is we're going to go over to the Utah game. Looking at Donovan Mitchell a little bit here. And, back and forth of what I wanted to do with him. Same kind of deal here. Do I want to go points at 26.5, or do I want to go points, rebounds, and assist at 35.5? I think this is a situation where we're going to take the points over 26.5 points. Phoenix is just not the same team without Chris Paul. The 2 games that they played without Chris Paul coming back from the break, yes, they beat OKC, but that game was pretty damn close throughout, and they beat them 124-104. But then they lost to the Pelicans, 102-117, and Utah is a good team, man. They're one of the best teams in the West. So I can see this situation where Mitchell's going to continue to be dominant and continue to shoot a bunch, even though that the matchup, looking at the stats, doesn't look great. A lot of that has to do with Chris Paul, and with Chris Paul off, that team just kind of, Booker's the dominant guy, but he's got to do so much on the offensive side of the ball that it does hurt their defense a little bit. So again, I was looking at both of these points, rebounds, and assists or points. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the points here. We're going to lean the over 26.5 points for Donovan Mitchell. Again, if you look at all the stats, Phoenix is 6th in points allowed, but a lot of that has to do with Chris Paul. And I think Donovan Mitchell is still going to be able to get this done. And it's a situation I think we can take advantage of without just, looking at the hard stats, and take Chris Paul out of it. He should hit this over. So 4 we're going to go with early here. James Harden over 10 assists. Mason Plumlee over 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And Donovan Mitchell over 26.5 points. So with that, I appreciate every one of you. Hit that like button on your way out if you don't mind. And I hope you enjoy your Sunday and play a little light on Sundays, man. It's just one of those things where a lot of crazy stuff can happen. And I'll look for a few other plays here. We got these 2 early games at noon with Philly and New York, and then Utah at Phoenix at 2:30. And then we got some of the later games. So when some of these play out, like I really like to play it with the Pelicans and Lakers. Hopefully when the full board comes out, I'll have some plays in that game and throw up another video here this afternoon. So with that, have a great Sunday. See you on the flip side. Deuces.